Welcome to our discussion on the fascinating history of Bhutan. We'll be exploring the kingdom's journey from its mythical origins to its modern democratic state. What are some of the earliest known aspects of Bhutanese history and how much of it is shrouded in myth?
Bhutan's early history is definitely a blend of fact and legend. While some structures suggest settlement as early as 2000 BC, concrete details are scarce before the 9th century. Legends speak of a Kuch Behar king ruling around the 7th century BC, but verifiable information is limited. The arrival of Tibetan Buddhism in the 9th century marks a more clearly defined starting point for recorded history.
The introduction of Buddhism seems pivotal. How did it shape Bhutan's development, both religiously and politically?
The arrival of Buddhism was transformative. Initially introduced in the 7th century, it gained significant traction in the 8th century with the arrival of King Sindhuraja and later the influential Padmasambhava, Guru Rinpoche. Buddhism became a unifying force, gradually replacing earlier shamanistic practices. However, it wasn't a simple replacement. It absorbed elements of the existing beliefs. The country's political history is deeply intertwined with its religious history, with power struggles between different Buddhist sects playing a significant role.
You mentioned different Buddhist sects. Can you elaborate on the sectarian rivalries and their impact on Bhutan's political landscape?
Absolutely. From the 10th century onwards, various Buddhist subsects competed for influence. The arrival of monks fleeing turmoil in Tibet further fueled these rivalries. The Drukpa Kagyupa school eventually emerged as the dominant sect, significantly impacting Bhutan's religious and political structure. These religious divisions often translated into political conflicts and power struggles.
So, how did Bhutan manage to consolidate its power and establish a unified state amidst these internal and external pressures?
The unification of Bhutan is largely attributed to Zabdrung Ngawang Namgyal in the 17th century. He was a Drukpa Lama who successfully repelled Tibetan invasions, subdued rival religious factions, and established a theocratic government. He implemented a comprehensive legal code, Zayig, and built a network of strategically located fortresses, zongs, to consolidate his power and defend the kingdom.
The Zabdrung's rule sounds like a period of significant change. How did the system of governance function during this time?
The Zabdrung's government was a unique blend of religious and secular authority. He held supreme power, both spiritual and temporal. The administration involved a state monastic body headed by the Je Khenpo, Lord Abbot, and a civil government led by the Druk Desi regent. The system, however, proved to be somewhat unstable after the Zabdrung's death, leading to internal conflicts and power struggles.
Following the Zabdrung's death, what were the major challenges Bhutan faced and how did it navigate them?
The death of the Zabdrung was kept secret for decades, highlighting the importance of his figurehead role. Succession issues and internal conflicts weakened the dual system of government. Bhutan also faced external pressures, particularly from the British East India Company. Boundary disputes and conflicts led to the Dwar War, 1864-65, resulting in territorial losses for Bhutan.
The Dwar War seems to have been a turning point. How did it shape Bhutan's relationship with Britain and its subsequent trajectory?
The Dwar War significantly impacted Bhutan's relationship with Britain. It resulted in territorial concessions and a treaty that, while acknowledging Bhutan's internal autonomy, placed its external relations under British guidance. This period also saw the rise of Ugyen Wangchuck, who consolidated power and eventually established the hereditary Wangchuck dynasty in 1907.
The establishment of the Wangchuck dynasty marked a significant shift. How did this change Bhutan's political landscape?
The establishment of the hereditary monarchy ended the centuries-old dual system of government. Ugyen Wangchuck, the first hereditary Druk Gyalpo, initiated reforms, including the introduction of Western-style education and improved infrastructure. He also cultivated closer ties with the British, securing Bhutan's independence from external threats.
How did Bhutan's relationship with India evolve after India's independence from British rule?
After India's independence, the relationship between Bhutan and India shifted. The 1949 Treaty of Peace and Friendship formalized Bhutan's independence while maintaining India's guidance on external affairs. This arrangement ensured Bhutan's security and stability while allowing it to maintain its internal autonomy.
The 20th century saw significant modernization efforts in Bhutan. What were some of the key developments during this period?
The 20th century witnessed significant modernization under successive monarchs. Jigme Dorji Wangchuck, the third Druk Gyalpo, introduced further reforms, including the establishment of a national assembly, land reforms, and the separation of the judiciary from the executive. This period also saw the development of infrastructure, education, and healthcare.
The concept of gross national happiness is often associated with Bhutan. Can you explain its significance?
Gross national happiness, GNH, is a unique development philosophy championed by Jigme Singye Wangchuck, the fourth Druk Gyalpo. It emphasizes the importance of well-being beyond purely economic indicators, incorporating factors like environmental conservation, cultural preservation, and good governance. It reflects Bhutan's commitment to sustainable and holistic development.
Bhutan's transition to democracy is also a notable event. How did this process unfold?
Jigme Singye Wangchuck initiated a transition to democracy, culminating in the adoption of Bhutan's first constitution in 2008. He abdicated the throne in 2006 in favor of his son, Jigme Khizar Namgyal Wangchuck, to allow the young king to oversee this crucial transition. This demonstrated a commitment to democratic principles and a peaceful transfer of power.
What are some of the key challenges Bhutan faces in the 21st century?
Bhutan faces several challenges in the 21st century, including balancing modernization with the preservation of its unique culture and environment, economic development, infrastructure improvements, and managing its relationship with its neighbors remain important considerations. The refugee issue from the 1980s also continues to be a complex matter.
The refugee issue is a significant one. Can you elaborate on the situation and its impact on Bhutan?
In the late 1980s, Bhutan expelled a significant number of Nepali-speaking residents, leading to a large refugee population in Nepal. This created a humanitarian crisis and strained relations with Nepal. While some refugees have been resettled in third countries, the issue remains unresolved, with ongoing negotiations between Bhutan and Nepal.
How has Bhutan managed to maintain its independence and sovereignty throughout its history, given its location between powerful neighbors?
Bhutan's strategic location between India and China has presented both challenges and opportunities. Throughout its history, Bhutan has skillfully navigated its relations with its powerful neighbors, maintaining its independence through a combination of diplomacy, strategic alliances, and a strong sense of national identity.
What role has Bhutan's unique culture and traditions played in shaping its national identity and resilience?
Bhutan's unique culture and traditions have been central to its national identity and resilience. The preservation of its cultural heritage, including its Buddhist faith and distinctive art forms, has been a key element in maintaining its distinct character and fostering a strong sense of national unity.
How has Bhutan's commitment to environmental conservation contributed to its overall development strategy?
Bhutan's commitment to environmental conservation is deeply ingrained in its development strategy. The country has prioritized sustainable development, aiming to balance economic growth with environmental protection. This commitment is reflected in its constitution and its policies promoting sustainable tourism and renewable energy.
What are some of the key lessons that other countries can learn from Bhutan's unique historical experience and development path?
Bhutan's experience offers several valuable lessons for other countries. Its emphasis on gross national happiness, its commitment to environmental conservation, and its successful transition to democracy provide models for sustainable and holistic development. Its ability to maintain its independence despite its geopolitical location also serves as a testament to the importance of strategic diplomacy and national unity.
Looking ahead, what are some of the key challenges and opportunities that Bhutan faces in the coming decades?
Bhutan faces the challenge of maintaining its unique cultural identity in a rapidly globalizing world. Economic diversification, infrastructure development, and climate change adaptation are also key concerns. However, Bhutan also has significant opportunities, including its potential for sustainable tourism, its abundant hydropower resources, and its growing international recognition as a model for sustainable development.
This has been a truly insightful discussion into the rich and complex history of Bhutan. Thank you for sharing your expertise.